whole foods like dark leafy greens, and lean protein like fish and beans, not processed foods like Nabisco. Time to cook with Dr. Crisco.
Welcome back to Cooking for Your Kids with Dr. Crisco. What do your kids crave when they're thirsty? Psychologically, they may crave the buzz they get from liquid sugar. But physiologically, their bodies just crave liquid for hydration. Let's take a closer look at this issue by examining our drinking habits through history. In 1950, soda was being sweetened by table sugar or sucrose, and the average American drank 2 soda cans per week. It was considered a weekend treat. In 1960, we began tracking health statistics, and it was determined that 13% of Americans were obese. By 1980, most soda was being sweetened by high fructose corn syrup, which was much cheaper to produce, so production went up, advertising went up, and consumption went up. It became a daily habit such that the average American was drinking 1 soda can per day. By 1988, obesity had skyrocketed, and it was determined that 23% of Americans were obese. And it didn't stop there. Consumption continued to rise, and in 2000, the average American was drinking 1.5 cans of soda cans per day, which represented a 50% increase compared to 1980. By 2005, we saw a corresponding 50% increase in obesity, and we hit 35% of Americans were obese. Coincidence? What is it about soda that is linked to weight gain? It's the sugar, added sugar. How much sugar? Well, let's count how many teaspoons of sugar are found in an average can of soda. It just so happens that I know a fellow who loves to count. They call him the Count of Monte Crisco. Let's see if I can get him.
Greetings! It is I, the Count. They call me the Count because I love to count things. Colin, will you count with me? 1 teaspoon, 2 teaspoons, 3 teaspoons, 4 teaspoons. But wait, there's more. 5 teaspoons. 6 teaspoons. 7 teaspoons. 8 teaspoons. Isn't that great? 9 teaspoons. 10.
Except when it comes to our kids, this is no laughing matter. Do you want your kids to be drinking all that sugar? Many parents today are already aware of the harms of high fructose corn syrup consumption, so they've taken to serving their kids fruit juices. But the problem with fruit juices is when you take the fiber out of the equation, you're left with liquid sugar. Fruit sugar, but liquid sugar nonetheless. Let me give you an analogy. Think about the sun. The sun provides essential energy for life. It gives plants life, and we eat those plants. Because we thought the sun was so good for us, we used to sunbathe and soak up all the rays we could and get gorgeous tans in the process. But it turns out that too much of a good thing was actually harmful to us. Now we know that overexposure to sunlight can cause toxic damage to our skin and give us skin cancer. So now we advise wearing sunblock to protect us from the harms of the sun. Like suntan lotion in the sun, whole fruit contains fiber, which acts like a barrier to protect us against toxic levels of sugar which can harm us. When you take a whole orange and you take out the fiber and you just squeeze the fruit juice, you're left with nothing but liquid sugar. So instead of packing a soda can or a juice box into your child's lunchbox, consider the ultimate thirst quencher, water. One way you can jazz up water is to infuse it with the natural essence of fruits and herbs. I'm going to demonstrate that next. I've got a beautiful bowl of fresh berries here. I'm going to take the strawberries and slice them, and then take a wooden spoon and lightly mash the rest of the berries. I'm going to take this fresh fragrant mint and I'm just going to tear it a little bit to release the oils. I've added the berries and the mint to this infuser. I've added filtered water and I'm going to let this steep overnight. If you don't have an infuser, you can add the berries and mint to the bottom of a pitcher of water and then let that steep overnight, and then use a colander to filter out the berries when you're ready to serve. You like it?
Yes.
Thanks for tuning in to Cooking for Your Kids with Dr. Crisco. See you next time.